Give them a shot to do what?
Yeah, so they think I'm autistic, so I really can't give back the award now. On this episode, we are going to go over the good, bad, and fugly from week 8 of the NFL. And then after that, the epic 2-game World Series that was somehow in one game, thanks to the heroics of not only Freddie Freeman, but possibly the greatest player to ever play baseball in Shohei. Me and Bert will answer that question. And then the referees, once again, siding with the Philadelphia. They're supposed to be wearing black and white, Bert, but for some reason, they seem to be wearing Kelly Green every damn week, or forest green, or whatever they want to do. Plus NHL, NBA first week impressions. And then we'll end the show with a mock draft because Halloween's coming up. Me and Bert will draft the best Halloween/scary movie characters. So drop yours in the comments, strap it on, and let's get ready to talk about sports next. Sports. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Stuff About Sports, presented by the Give Us a Shot Network, powered by Fast Break Coffee, and sponsored, as always, Bert, by the haters. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the first timers, to the last timers, hate watchers, and please like, share, subscribe, drop a comment. If you can't do any one of those things, I will be inclined to think you're a hater, and I hope you get gout. Bert, what's up, bro?
You know, I know this is stuff about sports, and I always end up doing this to myself because I care entirely too much about my sports teams, or even sports teams that I hate and want to lose, and yet somehow my day is always ruined by my teams, like it was on Sunday, and then Sunday afternoon, and then Sunday night with the Rangers. So I don't know. Yeah, I can't even find myself watching the World Series and being entertained because I do dislike both teams. And a part of me kind of wants the Blue Jays to win, which I know is probably I shouldn't because they routed the Yankees. But yeah, I've just been since Sunday. It's just been like a marathon of sports pain, and even still to this day, which is Tuesday now, thinking back of how awful the Giants game was and what we've lost as a result. You know, not just the game, but also Cam Scatterboo too. It's just, it hurts. It's lingering a little bit, you know?
They took it from us, Carmine. They stole it from us. Yeah, it's bad, man. Like, especially it's not the fact that you lose, right? It's always how you lose and the manner in which you lose it, right? So like you can handle a loss, but when things are blatantly going against you and it's like snowballing, it's frustrating. To your point about the Blue Jays, I'm of the belief I will root for the team that always takes me out. That way, in my head, I know it sounds bad, but I can at least say I lost to the champions, right? Like I could say they team of destiny. We were just in the way. I can live with that. I know that probably doesn't console you, and it doesn't help if it's like a division rival or somebody. That
I go back and forth, man. I there are days where I'm like, yeah, I hope the Jays win. So that way I can say we lost to the World Series champions that year. And then a part of me is like, nah, man, fuck them. Like, I want them to lose. I will say, I know I said it's been tough for me to enjoy. It has still been entertaining. You know, the Jays are making a series of it, and a lot of people thought that they were just going to get completely slapped around, and they are hanging in there. And it's great offensive baseball on both sides. It's what you love to see.
We'll get into all that in a little bit, but first we have Bucket of Doom. Week 9. It's starting to get to the thick of it. You said what?
What bye weeks we got in week 9?
Oh, I don't know. I should have looked them up beforehand. I usually are pretty good about that stuff.
Browns, Jets, Eagles, and Bucks.
Ooh, okay.
Teams to look out.
You're up. The Buffalo Bills taking on the Kansas City Chiefs this week, so I don't know. in
I'll
Kansas
roll with
City.
it. I'll roll with it. Yeah.
The good news is the Bills usually beat the Chiefs in the regular season. That's not the game
Yeah.
we need to be worried about. It's always the postseason. We can't get it done for some reason. Corey has the Baltimore Ravens with the returning Lamar Jackson. Not a bad pick. And Marcus, the Cleveland Browns, which is an automatic win for him.
Yes, it is.
I will have the Tennessee Titans.
Wait. Who?
Tennessee Titans?
No, but who has that pick? Carl?
Me.
Oh, you.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the order. Okay.
Carl. Now Carl has the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh no, I'm definitely keeping the Bills. We're doing this.
We're doing it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mike, the Green Bay Packers. Ty, the Seattle Seahawks. So that is week 9. Bucket of Doom picks. We will get all those out on social media at Stuff About Sports. Those don't know, Bucket of Doom is a suicide pool in which we pull teams. The team who loses, we rack up and see who has the most losses at the end of the season, and then they have to do some form of punishment. And we do have a playoff edition of Bucket of Doom where it is another survival pool where you keep picking every round of the playoffs, and if you end up being the winner with the Super Bowl, then you will win a prize from the Give Us a Shot Network. So if you're interested in that, please hit us up at Give Us a Shot Network on Instagram, or hey at Give Us a Shot Network. Hey at Give Us a Shot.network. I apologize. Sorry about that. All right. Bert, good, bad, and fugly.
Mm-hmm.
8. Where would you like to begin?
Let's start with obviously the good, but I'm going to begin with Jordan Love having himself a day with the Green Bay Packers. Not only throwing for 360 and 3 touchdowns, but being able to beat the former Green Bay quarterback himself and Aaron Rodgers, I think, is just making it ever so sweet. So I have to give it to Jordan Love. He had a hell of a performance, helped out my fantasy team this weekend too. Couldn't have asked for more. Yeah,
shout out to Jordan Love and the Packers. I mean, Jordan Love is shaping up to take that step that kind of everybody wanted him to kind of take. So shout out to them. My good is going to the Detroit Lions, crushing the Titans. Again, it just people were overreacting to the loss of the coordinator. I'm sorry.
The Colts?
The Colts beat the Titans. Sorry,
yes.
That's what I meant. Yeah, the Colts. Yeah. I'm tripping. I'm sorry. The Colts with Daniel Jones. Why did I say Detroit? Why did I have Detroit Lions in my? I think I was researching. Anyway,
color pattern though, similar.
Same thing. Daniel Jones, and people were worried about the Colts in the offseason with basically Daniel Jones continuing. Yeah. And we talked about this last week, and I'm going to keep giving him his flowers. And I think we said this before the season when it happened. We said, hey, man, is Daniel Jones like a guy you could just insert and turn into a contender? No, he needs the right things. And the Colts happen to have the right things. And I believe me and you both picked the Colts to make the playoffs, mostly because the AFC South is a bad division. But we wouldn't have, if Daniel Jones just played average, the Colts could make the wild card. And we talked about this in the offseason. Now, again, I'm not trying to say we were saying anything crazy. We weren't expecting this. Like this is a
7-1 Colts team led by Daniel Jones. Like
no. Yeah, we weren't talking about this. We were just saying, hey, as long as Daniel Jones can play well, the Colts will be competitive, and they could possibly push for a wild card spot. Now it seems way more than that. We're way beyond that. So my good is definitely going to Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts for continuing. It's not a hype train. It's legit now. Like the hype train is at 3-0, 4-1, whatever. This is they are legit contenders for a Super Bowl title. So shout out to them.
Let's move into the bad, shall we?
Yeah.
With two arguably the worst ranked defense in the NFL. One of them is for sure, and happens to be on the losing side of things after being up big at halftime and making Joe Flacco look like Tom Brady. I have to give my bad to the Cincinnati defense, and they're certainly showing why they are ranked as the worst defense in the NFL. allowing the Jets and Justin Fields to come back with 26 points in the half for the win, coming down to the wire by 1.2. And look, I know Justin Fields had a good game, but at the end of the day, you had the Jets where the Jets were. A winless team being blown out in the first half, and you let them come crawling back in. It was, look, as someone who is a fellow New York sports fan, certainly empathizing with what the Jets are going through and sympathizing for them to a certain extent as well. I got to feel happy for my Jet fans at least getting one. I also had to look at some Jet fans and be like, you just want them to tank, just finish out, because now, it's you and the Saints right now, 1-7. And it's, come on, what are we going for here? At this point, it's draft pick. Like, we know that the Jets aren't going to be anywhere near competitive and win out. So let's just keep the tank trend going. But Aaron Glenn with his first win as a head coach for the Jets. Justin Fields needed this game, especially after Woody didn't keep his mouth shut during the week, acting like he didn't make the decisions to bring in this quarterback and this coaching scheme, and then dogging his coaching scheme as well as his quarterback during the week. But happy for them. But the bad, Cincy's defense, yikes.
My bad's going to go to San Francisco, losing to the Texans. And listen, it happens. Bad losses happen. For me, it's the way they lost. We talked about that a little bit earlier. It's not losing. It's the way you lost. It was bad.
Yeah.
George Kittle came out after the game and basically called out the entire offense for playing what he said was just really, really bad football, citing like just a bunch of missed assignments. And it wasn't just, he wasn't blaming his teammates. He was missing them too. But most of the penalties killed them. They couldn't move the ball after we've done hyped up the resurgence of Mac Jones. Like that fell back to earth pretty quick. They had trouble converting on third down, which you have to do in the NFL. Like, you have to be decent at it. And the Texans had a really good game plan, and I don't know if they've kind of came back to what we thought they would be, but they're a 3-4 team. It's a bad team. It's not and for the Niners, it's just not the standard of excellence that we've come to expect with the team that has the talent and the Super Bowl aspirations that they do. So anytime you play sloppy and uninspired football against a team like the Texans, or a team of the caliber of the Texans, I'm not going to take you serious in January. So the 49ers are going to get my bad.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. My Fugly, I will keep it short and sweet because I know we're going to talk about this next, but it goes to the officiating in the Giants and Eagles game. And look, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Eagles and officiating against them, largely the tush push at this point, because it seems like a reoccurring theme week over week. It's one more thing. But I'll be the first one to admit, even as a Homer Giant fan, there were missed calls on both sides that was abysmal, to the point where we're not the only talking heads talking about it. But obviously the main theme is going to be another thing against the tush push with the Jalen Hurts fumble that should have been a fumble. But you can go back and you can look at Jackson Dart's fumble as well, that they looked at it and said, nope, he was making a little bit of a throwing motion. I watched that as a Giant fan and couldn't believe that they actually let us keep the balls. But, there were missed calls. We're always going to have missed holdings as well. The offensive pass interference that should have been a defensive pass interference, the blocks in the back. It seemed like an all-out free-for-all that unfortunately the Giants ended up being on the losing side, not just of the game, but a lot of the calls that they were making too.
Yeah. My Fugly is going to go to the Dallas Cowboys, getting their ass kicked by Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos.
Fucking whooped. Yeah.
You want to talk about, like, this was the kind of loss is why we titled this Fugly instead of just regular ugly. It was effing ugly. And it makes the franchise overall just how it looks. The Cowboys not only got steamrolled, but it exposed their biggest flaw, which is defense, which makes it compounded more funny because they traded probably their best defensive player. So I get the game was like 44-24. It was not that close. Like, don't let the final score being padded late fool you. The Broncos were up big and just dominated Dallas from jump. Dak threw 2 picks. Defense looked soft. They got run all over the place. RJ Harvey, who has been a bust for me in fantasy, I dropped, and then he promptly scores 2 touchdowns, which pissed me off. The game for the Cowboys was supposed to be a measuring stick, and the only thing that got measured was that Dallas was a team that just got put on notice by a team that's just now figuring it out. Like, you're supposed to be a contender. Like, it's as ugly as it gets. Like, you think that you're stepping up or you're leveling up and you're showing people, hey, we're bigger than one player, and Dak Prescott's finally healthy and we're going to take this step forward. It's just embarrassing, and it raises real questions about Dallas, their mental toughness, and how they're running, and if the defense is even going to hold up for the rest of the year. So
spoiler alert, they're not. It's just
probably not.
No,
probably not. I was very tempted to give it to New Orleans. Their QB situation.
That's the only reason why I didn't, to be honest with you. I had to cut him a little bit of a break there. And I guess just because from an expectation standpoint, it was like, all right, I get it. Like, this makes sense to me, but that's rough.
Yeah. Carl says, F them, throw them back.
Carl, who got the Chiefs in the bucket of doom, is throwing it back. You know why? Because he saw it playing the Bills and he's scared.
Yeah. I don't blame you, Carl. So, I like it, man. Big nuts. I'm with it. Carl, your new team. The New Orleans Saints starting Tyler Shogue, who he came in late for Spencer Rattler and promptly threw a pick, which, I mean, for a team like, hey, you should have drafted Shador, man. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to dwell on it. You should have drafted the boy, because it's not looking good.
All right, Saints Bert, got the Rams this upcoming week too. Jeez.
That's not. Not good. Not good at all. So, Bert, you alluded to it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you go off. I've already said what I had to say about it on social media, but I'll just chime in. But this is all you, bud. The referees. Is there? I shouldn't say is there like a clear, like, it's obvious at this point, but
it has to be at this point.
Why is this happening?
Yeah. I mean, look at this point, and I think for me in watching the game, the starting point was these aren't like little calls here and there. These are momentum changing calls that absolutely ruined the Giants and having any chance of staying in the game. And I'm not going to sit here and say that the fix was in, but I am going to, and particularly I'm going to focus on the tush push first, because that's one that was probably the most egregious of them all. And the fact that it wasn't get in the end zone tush push. This was for a first down in the middle of the field. Jalen Hurts is continuing with his forward progress, but the refs were quick to blow it dead. And I don't know if it's because they have in their head they truly cannot officiate it. And that's what it comes down to. They cannot officiate it. We've seen it in weeks past where you have the O-line lining up off sides, you have false starts that aren't being called, you have and now you have an individual who is diving on a pile of teammates, knees not touching turf, not touching grass, still extending his arms, but you're quick to blow it dead because you feel as though that forward progress was made. Like, are you kidding me? I think it's also bothersome because, like, what type of football is this? Like, Jerm, when we were growing up, it was either your knees on the ground or the ball's getting ripped out of your hand. Like, they didn't give you, like, the liberty with forward progress in that tush push was insane to me. And it was a fumble. What's also bothersome to me is with many stoppages in plays, and as long as the games take, I'd rather you take longer, make everything reviewable, and get it right. At this point, between not only games that obviously have implications for making playoffs, and this being a divisional matchup, it does, but also with sports betting too, like, you want them to get shit right through and through. So I would think, take the extra time, make it a reviewable play, but since they themselves blew the whistle, that's why it didn't change over. So I think that just continued to add to this. We have to ban the tush push. And look, anybody who's been listening week in and week out, my stance has always been, you have the ability to do it better. The past 4 weeks alone have completely changed my mind. If you can't officiate it, that means you're clearly making rules just for one team's benefit, which is insane to me. It absolutely is. We just can't keep doing this. But then later in the game, You had the offensive pass interference. It was actually defensive pass interference, or just wipe them both clean, let them play, and that would have been a touchdown anyways. The illegal tackle that led to Scadaboo's injury, which was so disgusting, man. If I've got to see one more person's leg or foot on the wrong way this season, I don't know if I'm going to keep watching it. I don't know if I can handle this. It shouldn't have been like that. Now, I saw your post. It was honestly so perfectly said. There wasn't much I can add to it, but I will say I'm one to scroll the comments too. And anybody who's straight up defending Philly right now, you all need to get your heads checked. You do. You need to go get a CAT scan, make sure everything is firing properly as it should be, because I'll never understand just the blind allegiance to not even recognize that this is an issue. It's one thing if you're going to benefit from it, if it's like an iffy call. This was clear as day where like you should agree, like, hey, I'm glad we benefited from it, but no, this is something that probably needs to change in the future. And then you always hear the excuse, well, Jerm, there were missed calls all over the place. The Giants got away with this. Look at all the holdings they got away with. It's like there's always going to be missed calls. There always will be, but the momentum changing ones that's the difference maker one that right there. And especially something, again, going back to the tush push that nobody can stop because of it. It just can't happen anymore.
Yeah. So look, here's the thing about the Eagles, and not only just the tush push, but the phantom calls overall. Everybody who doesn't live in a 75-mile radius of Philly thinks the NFL has this operation rigged for them. That's the narrative. Like that's the way it goes, right? Like the Patriots, then the Chiefs, and now the Eagles are getting these ticky-tack calls, but the problem is they're getting them when it matters. It's like, I don't know if Goodell has like a giant Jalen Hurts poster up hoping for another Super Bowl run, but I did look into some data.
Did you?
Yeah.
Next-gen data.
Next-gen stats provided to me by the troll that lives in Mike Powers' basement. If you look over the last few seasons, the Eagles have consistently been one of the least penalized teams in the league. At least they're on the good side of what the penalty yard differential is, right? So that's really the real number. It's not the amount of flags they're getting, but like if your opponents are getting flagged for like 75 yards and you're only getting 5, that's a benefit. The Eagles have been consistently getting that. We saw that with the Bills game, like couple with the that the Eagles played when all the Eagles last year when the Eagles were like, oh look, the Eagles beat the Bills. It's huge edge to teams when they're just consistently getting the benefit of the doubt because they're the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to the tush push, it was blown dead because the referees admittedly said that they can't properly officiate it. And so they just assume they're going to get the yardage. And that, again, I said it a few weeks ago. I'm glad you finally got on my side of the fence where it's not about them doing it better. The Bills just ran it last week against the Panthers and got flagged because of a legal, like I guess the receiver was lined up on the wrong side. I watched that penalty with the Bills and then watched the Eagles did it. Devonta Smith was lined up in the same exact spot Elijah Moore was, and they didn't get flagged for it. And my argument to Eagles fans that say run it better, we're the best at doing it. Yeah, it's easy to be the best at doing it when you know all the nuances that you need to know to get away with it. When everybody else is running it properly, yeah, it's going to be a least effective move. You know how to beat the system. And teams, and again, the Bills are getting called for that type of stuff. Other teams are getting called for running it, and you're not because you're the Eagles. That's the disadvantage. And so, or I guess I would say that's the advantage if you're the Eagles. That's why it needs to be legislated out of the game. And it's going to be with the fumble call. It's not a fact that you're just really awesome at doing it. You're proficient at it. The defenses have no answer. I'm with you. But the fact that the refs are kind of just like, fuck it, just let them run it.
Yeah.
Giving them the favorable call, and it's the inaction of the league that has made it not only a fundamental favorable advantage for the Eagles, but it also makes it extremely frustrating for this week Giants fans, but NFL fans in general. I don't know, man. Like I'm not against taking out plays for the sake of taking them out, but it's not even a football play. And it's disgusting that the Eagles are they ran it 4 times in a row. a couple
that
weeks
was the last
ago.
time we played them, and we ended up winning that game.
Yeah.
I thought that was probably. I mean, look, in seeing them consistently push forward and fourth, and I got 3 yards or under. I'll say, like, I get it. Like, try to run the play. I honestly think this fumble was kind of the nail in the coffin for me in terms of like, all right, this needs to stop because, like you said, they're getting the benefit of the doubt, but it is hurting teams. I mean, that was a fumble that should have honestly been the Giants' ball. And on it, and if I want to take it one step further, had we got that call, I don't think Cam Scatterbo even would have been injured. It would have been a completely different set the next time, and we would. I mean, who's to say what would have happened? But it honestly, I would be shocked if, and like you said in your post, if it wasn't damn near unanimous, with the exception of Philly not wanting to ban it.
It's funny, these idiots, these inbred troglodytes and neophytes in Philly that say, "Oh, look at the score. Was that fumble going to give you 30 something points?" Well, no, I'm not. Only an idiot will look at the final result and not realize context matters. At the point of the tush push fumble, that wasn't. The game was 7-7. The ball was around the 50-yard line. The Giants had the ball. Momentum can swing differently. The pass interference call, like you said, Scatterbo may not even have been put in that position. But then when the Giants seemed to get some momentum, there was always that ridiculous call that swung it. We witnessed this a couple weeks ago with the Philadelphia Eagles, where Jalen Hurts did something that should have been grounding. They threw a penalty flag and then just picked it up and didn't give an explanation to why. And the Eagles ended up getting the first down. It's consistently stuff like that. This isn't just once in a blue moon stuff. It's the Eagles are consistently getting these calls that are going their way. And it's blatant and it's obvious. And that's the problem. The guys on the couch like us can see it from TV without the benefit of instant replay. You have multi-million-dollar cameras in the stadium. I'm with you. If you're going to keep it, then everything should be reviewable. Do what the XFL did. You have the ability to have referees. We have coaches in the skybox. Why can't the referees be in the skybox calling the game in real time? What do you don't want to demean what the referees are? I'm not saying replace the referees on the field, but what I'm saying is when you have bang stuff, or you have stuff that is a ref maybe not have the clear eyesight, what do you have all these cameras for that can count individual blades of grass if you're not going to use the replay and the cameras to help get the calls correct? Get them right. It's sickening. It's sickening. And
I mean, look, I didn't expect the Giants defense played poorly, and I'm not obtuse enough to say that, I mean, they ran 276 on us. If we're not going to stop the run game, we're probably not going to win, but it shouldn't have been as much of a blowout. I get a loss is a loss, but also the result may not, like you said, the result may not have been the same. The momentum swings would have changed the game. It wouldn't have ended, in the 38-20 loss that it was, because to me, that game was much closer than the end score was the result as. And look, nothing against Jackson Dart, I still think played a really good game. And he's really shaping up to be the quarterback. And honestly, I hope that he continues to get the reps throughout the rest of the season. And, just on it, like getting ready for next too, or hopefully we'll have more weapons around him as well. And maybe an offensive line that gives him time to throw. But man, I honestly can't wait. The Eagles are on a bye next week, but I'm going to be watching every single game and scrutinizing every time there's a tush push, much like everybody else is at this point too. And I've heard it from all over. It's something that just needs to go away. And it'll be interesting to see. What I did find funny, and I almost texted you this too, but we've heard it so many times before in this podcast, Jerm, is I don't know if you caught Nick Sirianni's post-game speech in his locker room, but he said, and I quote, that was his favorite way to win. Do you know why?
Why?
He said, because they put over 270 on the ground, and there's nothing better than that. And to me, I'm just like, damn, you really don't believe in Jalen Hurts' arm enough to win.
Yeah.
Unless it's your run game. But here we are.
Yeah, and we're not going to talk about how AJ Brown deleted all of his Jalen Hurts praise off of his Twitter. Listen, and people laughed at me when I said, hey man, it's crazy how AJ Brown had the best game of the season recently with the Eagles. All of a sudden the hamstring's popping up. Secret suspension. They called him a madman.
Schefter said that they were shopping him. Like they are actively in talks, and it wouldn't be surprised if he's out of there.
They called me a madman, Bert.
They
Hey,
did.
listen,
Yeah.
monopoly of the truth. We keep telling you around here. Y'all just don't want to listen. Y'all don't want to hear it. It's cool. World Series, we had a fantastic World Series game to turn around in less than 12 hours for them to play another one.
Yeah. I mean,
Which
I
is
only stayed up for a part of the first one. Like,
I'm a
when I woke up this morning and I saw Freddie Freeman walk up in 18 innings, I was like, what the fuck?
So I fell asleep once the Chiefs and the Commanders game kind of got out of control, and then the Sixers won. I checked in. I said, "Oh wow, the game's close. Whatever." I drifted off to sleep. I woke up about 3, maybe like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and I said, "Oh, they're playing like the replay. It must have been a really good game. Let me watch it." And then I looked at I was like, "Oh wait, 14th inning." I was like, "Wait," I was like, "It's still the same game." I went to bed and woke up to the same game playing, and of course, I finished the rest of it because I was like, "Fuck it!" Like now I'm up. Now I'm interested in what's happening. I got on the phone and I watched all the highlights to how we got there, and so I watched the rest of the game. It was amazing. So, which brings us, you posed the question.
Yeah.
Yes, Freddie Freeman is going to get the ESPN highlights for hitting the home run to win the game, which is fine. He deserves it. It's awesome. That game was won because Shohei Ohtani's fucking awesome. Period. Like, is it fair? And I think we've talked about this a little bit.
We have.
I get it, man. Showtime. He's the walking, breathing, pitching, hitting proof that God saves his best nectar for just the select few in life. And this guy is amazing.
Yeah.
Has he done enough to you, if I'm asking your question that you posed to me correctly, to say that he's the best person to ever play baseball?
I mean, my immediate response is no, I don't. But I also come from this ideology that there is not one best player in any sport. I mean, look, and I'm a hockey guy, and they call Wayne Gretzky the great one. He is, but you got to judge players based on the times, based on what they did for the sport, based on their accolades, their achievements. Like, Ovechkin just passed him for the goals, right? So you got to say, yeah, Gretzky's one of the best players of all time. Switching that to baseball, Ohtani for me is so far and already one of the best baseball players of modern day baseball. He is. My only reservation of calling him the best player of all time is the fact that he's entertaining to watch. It's hard to do the pitcher thing, to do the hitting thing, and he's doing both of it. But, and I've seen this same opinion circulate elsewhere. It's, you don't play the majority of the games both in the field and at bat. And I think for me, I will judge him hitting against other players like him and Aaron Judge, who's the better hitter. Certainly Ohtani when it comes to the postseason. But, you need to be able to, for me, you got to be, I find Aaron Judge to be more athletic in a sense of being able to go out there and we'll say play the better part of 140 or 150 games if he's completely healthy out of 162 in the field. Whereas Ohtani's only on the mound, once every 3-4 days. Not to say that, he's still pitching, right? They had to create a rule for him about if he's pitching, he can DH at the same time, which I'll get into in a second because I think they need to change that rule. But as of right now, I think he is arguably one of the best players in baseball. But I'll take it a step further and say he's probably the most electrifying postseason hitter we have had in the past 20 years or so. If he keeps this up, because he's only 3 games into this postseason, he's already tied the Dodgers record for most home runs in a single postseason. He's now with an organization that is likely going to make the postseason, if not every year over the next 5 years, every 10 years, over the next 10 years too. I think him moving to the Dodgers and away from the Angels is what propelled him into this status. Not to say he wasn't entertaining or wasn't electrifying before, he was, but now he can add some stats to his name and be considered one of the best, plain and simple. So much so where, you have John Schneider being called out for the fact that he walked him 4 times in yesterday's game. That was intentional walks. He walked a 5th time just by taking some balls too. And that's how you've made it as a hitter if they don't even want to throw to you. which of course, Jerm brought up the question. You know how we love ruining the game of classic baseball, and I'm not saying that sarcastically for anybody who is new to the show. Jerm and I love enhancements to baseball. We cheered when there was the universal DH. We're cheering for robot umpires. We liked, the check rule at first. You could only throw so many times, and now I will ask you, Jerm. Do you think there should be a rule with how many intentional walks you should grant a player?
Nope.
No, you think they should just let them walk as many times as possible?
Not only do I think they should be allowed to do that, I think we've talked about this, the golden at bat, where like if Shohei should be able to at least one time a game in a certain situation, if Shohei strikes out, you put him up right back up there if you want to.
Yeah.
You get one golden at bat. So if you're gonna waste it on a walk, then fine, walk him as many times as you want. But I mean, limiting the amount of walks would probably help, but that's only going to help the super stack teams, right? Like, you know what I mean? Because it's going to force you to pitch. Like, it's not really going to change anything for a majority of the teams.
I mean,
Brad
for me as a
Orhood,
baseball fan, if I'm going to a game, regular season or postseason, and I watch Ohtani or Aaron Judge get walked 3 times, like, I'm paying to see him hit bombs. Like, I don't need to see him walk to first anymore. I get that it's a part of the game. I'm not saying get rid of it completely, obviously. I do think the intentional walk is key in certain situations, but man, limit it to 2 a game. I think it just helps with the strategy.
Well, the problem is, it does, but the problem is, okay, you can't intentionally walk. These are professional league pitchers. They can throw a ball to make it look like, they're just going to walk you anyway. You know what I mean? So they'll just throw low pitches. Like it may not, they may not like loft it, but they'll throw some fast, low pitches. They're going to walk you. So that's why it's like, it's going to be hard
provided
to
the individual doesn't swing. Yeah.
Right. But you're going to be in a situation where I'm not intentionally walking you, but I'm intentionally walking you. Brad Orhood, Tuesday. You know what that means. New stuff about sports. Sure. You can put a limit on intentional walks, but I don't think that's really going to stop teams from walking. Like, maybe I'll throw it a little higher than normal. Like, I'll make it obvious that I'm walking you. Maybe you'll swing at a few of them, but like Javier Baez, you know what I mean? Like, Bert, I heard you, man. I feel you. Everything. Time is the operative word in the GOAT, right? Greatest of all time. I hear you, man. But we got to stop doing this where we're talking, we're putting up people's accolades up against their traits or what they do. Shohei Ohtani is the greatest player to ever play baseball. Okay. Right. And I'm not a Babe Ruth played only against plumbers. Babe Ruth started pitching after he was a hitter. The Shohei's doing it at the same time. Like he's you said it. They changed the rule for him. Like it's 50-50 club, Bert. Hey, last year, 54 homers, 59 stolen bases. You want to know how long that list is of people who have done that in the history of baseball? Baseball's been played for it's one. It's one. You guessed it, buddy. That's Shohei Ohtani. The GOAT. You feel me? The GOAT. You come in the league. I can't imagine. The US numbers are great. I can't wait to see what the numbers coming out of Japan are. In terms of what he means, like to everything. Like, and then he's a 3-time MVP already. Two of them were unanimous, right? Like,
and I mean, he's about to get a 4th.
He's going to get a 4th. So, I mean, how many 4-time MVPs are already in the Hall of Fame? There's not many of them, right? He's already got. Shame on the Anaheim Angels. Shame on you for wasting all of that fucking time. All that could have been doubled by now. Now imagine that. Now imagine if he didn't waste all those years with Mike Trout and trying to make that thing work.
I know.
Like, people still talk about Babe Ruth. Shohei's doing things that Babe Ruth has even half touched, and he's doing it at an elite level simultaneously in the modern game against bigger, better athletes who specialize in the things that, back then baseball players were just baseball players. Like, again, I'm not a Babe Ruth played against milkman guy, but the games just evolved in a way that
I bet you they weren't throwing 101 when Babe Ruth was playing,
Yeah. So sorry, man. Like show again. I get it. People are going to start putting up, hey, how many rings does he have? How many of this? He's going to get those too in short order. But
Yeah.
like we do this with Tom Brady. Like I don't think people are using the rings. Like Tom Brady isn't the best person to ever throw a football, even though he's probably up there. Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. Like I think when I look at how they play the position, I would say they're better. I put Drew Brees above Tom Brady in terms of skills.
All right,
But
now I'm going to stop you there. Now you're being
the most
absolutely
accurate quarterback ever. Like that's a tangible thing. Like nobody's going to touch Drew Brees' records in terms of personal, like the way he's throwing the ball. I'm talking about the skill of playing quarterback. Like I'm talking about. But Aaron Rodgers is like to me that's the best I've ever seen. And Patrick Mahomes is about to eclipse that here pretty soon if he keeps dragging Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy and Travis Kelce to Super Bowl titles. But Shohei, in terms of playing the game, the best. Nobody has done what this guy has done. Like it's
not since
I don't know
Babe
how
Ruth,
you could argue
probably
it.
never again. No,
And never again. I just like you, I don't know how you could argue it, to be honest with you. Like,
well, again,
the
I'm
only
not
thing
saying he's not the best. I'm saying he's one of the best to play the game.
I got you. I get it. The greatest is a different conversation. So, and people are going to want sustained excellence when it comes to that type of stuff. But I don't know, man. Like, he's just amazing. He's amazing.
Oh, he is. He is super amazing. I mean, honestly, watching him play, it annoys me. He didn't want to come to the East Coast and wanted to stay out west. But I get it. That's fine.
Bert, NBA and NHL have kicked off, and for me, I don't know how it has been. I don't know how it's been on the ice. I'm glossing over the frenzy. What do they call it? It's basically the red zone for hockey that they have on ESPN.
Oh yeah, Frozen Frenzy or something.
Frozen Frenzy, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome stuff. But give me the biggest storyline or what's your first impressions from the NHL so far?
I mean, at most we're 10, 11 games in, so a lot of teams still gelling overall. I think for me, it's new name, new season, the Mammoth. I mean, they're about to have a breakout. I mean, right now sitting at 8 wins, leading honestly, the entire Western Conference at this point. It's still early, but you love to see those teams, especially in the earlier stages. The likes of like when the Golden Knights first came and they moved, and now you have what was the Utah Hockey Club, now the Utah Mammoth, gelling in their second year, and leading it outright too. But overall, I mean, look, there's a lot up for grabs. East Coast, West Coast. I think there's young teams that are in their struggles, like the San Jose Sharks. And then you have your veteran teams who have been competing year over year with some new changes, like the New York Rangers, my New York Rangers, with a brand new head coach, some new faces, new leadership in JT Miller, which we traded last year, that for some reason can't fucking get with it. And they only have 3 wins on the year. And the only 2 teams that have less wins than they do are the San Jose Sharks and the Calgary Flames, 2 teams who we just gave them one of those 2 wins within the past week. So I don't know what's going on with them, man. They need to get that shit together, and start turning around and winning some hockey games. And, but overall, look, man, I'm just excited. Hockey's back. Basketball is back. 82 games in these seasons. So there's going to be a lot of ups and downs, Jerm. I know before we went live, you were talking about how the Sixers already pissing you off. And to that, I'll say, hey man, let's take a step back. We're not even, a third of the way through with the season. Let's just see what happens. And then I guess Christmas time, you can tell me how things are going.
So it's funny, since we've been here on the show for 40 minutes, the Sixers went from being down to 20 to being down 2 with 22 seconds left. They're losing 126 to 128. So there is a chance that they could come back and win. So like you said, we're like a week into the season. And as you heard early on the show, overreactions are flying around like we were drunk running around Baltimore all those years ago.
It was a good trip.
That was a great trip, man.
That's a great trip.
But overreactions like that are what kind of make sports great, right? Like, it's like watching a pilot episode and trying to discern if the show's going to be a disaster or be a classic.
If it's going to be picked up.
It's going to be picked up. So, the first observation, is the league's obsession with scoring. Basketball, I feel like I'm trying to figure out if the rims are wider. A week into the season, we had 16 players which is an NBA record, drop at least 40 points in the first week. 16. It's unbelievable. Tyrese Maxey, Sixers Tyrese Maxey dropped 43 points on the Magic, who supposedly have a good defense. And then he does it again 2 nights later. Aaron Gordon from the Nuggets, who put up the season's first 50-point game. Then Luka had did it. And then Austin Reeves just did it yesterday. It's unbelievable. Almost a statistical anomaly about the amount of scoring that's happening. Because, like and a lot of it's 3-point shooting. Like I know Aaron Gordon, I think he went 10 of 11 from 3 when he scored that 50. So I get it that the 3-point volume is one thing, and everybody wants more of that if you're a GM or a coach. But officiating, they're letting the guys play this year. Like there's not a lot of I think the emphasis on the refs letting players play to a point is helping offensive players get into a better groove. And the other observation or impression I've had of this early season is that a lot of the young guys, again, Sixers, VJ Edgecombe, 3rd pick of the draft, debuts with a 34-point to beat the Celtics. Rookies aren't supposed to do that, Bert, and I love it. And that's why I'm so obsessed with the Sixers. It's nice. And listen, regression is going to come from everybody. 16 people aren't going to score 40 plus points every week. That regression is going to come in mean like the IRS. But the one thing that I've been really impressed with, if you don't know him by now, Victor Wembanyama from the San Antonio Spurs. He is a living cheat code. He's putting up video game numbers. And we knew that he was going to be good coming in, and we knew it was going to take some time. That timeline had just moved up. The price just went up. The kid's amazing. And people his size aren't supposed to move and play like that. He is doing 360 layups, dribbling, step back 3-point fadeaway shots. His defense is amazing. He's basically unguardable. He covers literally a quarter of the floor when he's on defense. It's insane. So shout out to Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs, who look like the league's best team right now, back to where they were all those years ago when Tim Duncan and David Robinson were there. The Spurs are back to being like a team to kind of look out for. So shout out to the Spurs, and shout out to the rookies. Shout out to the Sixers and everybody playing well. All right, Bert, this is what we came for. This is the coup de grace. We're going to do something like we like to call mock draft, where we're going to start doing this a little bit more. I think this is a fun little thing to do.
Yeah, we used to do it a lot.
We used to do it a lot. We just never had a name to it, but now we're going to have a name to it. And I think I got the idea because an old clip had resurfaced in my memories of one of the drafts we used to do.
We did a draft of Top Candy one year, and that was awesome.
Yeah. And of course, that prompted me to go to our first ever draft we did on Stuff About Sports, which was our White Excellence draft, which was very funny and awesome. So
I did not participate in that one. Yeah, I was out.
Yeah, you were out on that one. We'll have to do that again. A lot more great whites came out since.
We'll do it during Shark Week. Yeah,
we'll do it during Shark Week. So listen, since I beat you in the network league that nobody cares about, I'll let you have the first.
No. Hold on. You didn't just beat me. You smacked the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Dude, and my team didn't even play bad. I looked at the score and I was like, what the hell just happened?
Everybody had record, and I'm usually on the other side of those types of things.
Yeah.
Everybody on my team went off, like to the likes of they haven't done that all year. So I'll take it. I wish it would have came against Corey or somebody, but I hate that it had to be you. I would have taken
212 to 147. It was.
I don't think I've ever scored that many points in
it was
fantasy.
Insane, absolutely insane.
So we'll do. God, we'll do a snake draft. So you'll do the first pick, and then the last round will get the back to back, and till we get 5.
Man, I get the first pick. Okay. Listen, if we're going first pick, I'm going with the guy that basically puts Halloween in Halloween, right? When we're thinking Halloween horror classics, I'm going with Michael Myers as my first pick. That's
that's the obvious one. He's the best. it's
Dude,
there's no
and he's menacing because he's just mentally the suspense. Like he's not there. There's not a lot of jump scare. It's just like he's there. He walks slow. He's got the power. Like it's insane. And he is clinically insane too. But man, it's just a mental. It's just a true mental thriller.
I do like the small little slight retcon of him. I know they were trying to give him like some type of supernatural whatever, and then they kind of reeled that back in. There's nothing wrong with being just the silent, unkillable force of nature. There's something terrifying about that. It doesn't need to have a bunch of thrills and frills and bells and whistles. It's like, no, I'm coming, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. And Mike Myers, he's the GOAT. Like that's the Michael Jordan of scary movie Halloween characters. I don't blame you. I figured I would have the number 2 pick, and it's really 2 choices. And I'm probably just gonna you need a defensive stalwart. Like you need somebody to anchor the team when all else fails. Who's taking the last shot? And if Mike Myers is off the board, then I'm gonna go ahead and take the next best thing, and that's Mr. Freddy Krueger.
Whoa, okay. See, I thought it was either that or is Jason Voorhees, one or the other.
Okay, so my thinking is Jason and Mike Myers would cancel each other out. I need somebody with a psychological edge. Yes. And who better than the King of Dreams, or King of Nightmares, I should say. Yeah. And that's Freddy Krueger. So I'm going to go with Freddy as my first pick.
You know what? That might change up my draft strategy a little bit, because I was going to go brute force again too. But if you're playing the mental shift, I have to go with Pennywise the Clown.
Damn.
Yeah. And look, classic Stephen King. But the horror films and now shows, because Welcome to Derry is out there too, and I haven't seen that yet. Looking forward to it. But look, the original had everything. Tim Curry playing a creepy clown in the sewer, a little bit of an alien giant spider nature to it, but mentally, man, this movie freaked me out. I still can't look at clowns the right way.
So honestly, I thought you would take Jason. So that does mess up it doesn't mess up my big board, but it does change mine. So I will go ahead and take Jason, because I can't let him slip to round 3. No. Because then he'll be gone, and then your team will be super stacked. So I will match your power, and I will go with Jason with my pick.
Yeah, that's solid. Oh man, evened up so far. I'm looking at my list. I think I was gonna hold on to this next one to see if he fell somewhere and where, but I've got 2. Well, I guess Jason's serious, and then Pennywise a little bit fun. I think I want to stick with the clown theme though, and add a little bit. I guess I'll call it lightness, but I mean the gore that comes with this gentleman is insane. And I have to go Art the Clown. I do. Man, terrified. That you want to talk about a game changer of horror films that has come out over the past couple of years, that just honestly takes the horror genre by storm, and it's got to be the Terrifier. Like it's just insane. Not only the cult following it has, but I mean the amount of excess gore that you would have thought would have been in, we'll say, 90s horror films is now twice and thrice over in these films too. So I do have to take Art. Plus I do love me a little bit of like lightness and comedy throughout certain horror films too, and I think this provides a nice balance.
Man, I didn't see that one coming. That's clutch. I like that. I think I need another big, and they're starting to run out, because I have a strategy for my last couple rounds. Pennywise is a good one. Terrifier, Art the Clown is another good one. I think I'm going to go with one more classic who could be possibly on the Mount Rushmore. I'm going to go with Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes.
I mean, partly because he's loosely based on Ed Gein, who had an awesome monster show.
I have not watched that yet, but I've heard it is insane.
It's freaky. I watched that and the Devil in Disguise with John Wayne Gacy. Devil in Disguise. Please, like make sure the kids aren't around. But that movie or that show was
not family friendly, huh? No,
not exactly. Not the type of clown you want your kids around. But that show made John Wayne Gacy. I know, I mean, not that he wasn't scary before, but made that dude like, holy shit, like that's crazy.
All right,
Fourth
Leatherface is your
pick.
third. So
There's
fourth.
my third pick. Yep. There's a lot of good ones out there too.
There's still a lot of good ones, and I'm kind of wrestling. Like, do I go super old school and classic, or what we would consider old school from the 90s that is still around too?
Yeah.
I think I might save that for. I think I'm gonna have to go super classic for this one. I'm gonna have to go Dracula.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Dracula overarching, right? Like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You know, Bram Stokers, like whatever. Like it's just Dracula in general. You can't go wrong. The original vampire, like the OG, like you can't go wrong with Dracula, no matter which version of it. Even that terrible Wes Craven Dracula, Gerard Butler, like, that was terrible. But you know, Dracula is definitely up there. So let me see here. I'm pretty stacked on power. I need brain. And there's two. I'm gonna go with Jigsaw.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go with Dr. John Kramer. Psychological.
Yeah.
It doesn't get smarter than convincing people to kill themselves. Like he hasn't actually done anything. Like, and inducing people into self-mutilation has got to be one of the scariest things ever. So surviving 10 movies, listen, direct to DVD counts, but having interest in making 10 movies, Jigsaw is definitely up there. So I'm gonna ride with Jigsaw.
That's a good one. All right, this was my sleeper that I was holding on to. But man, is it arguably one of my favorite serial killer horror type movies. And I'm going with Ghostface from Scream.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look, comparison to all my other picks, there's no like magic or whimsical or even like the unstoppable force that is Michael Myers. This is just a dude who honestly is just a mastermind. He's crafty and he just likes to run around and kill people too. And here's the thing, it doesn't matter who it is specifically, whoever wears the mask. But yeah, I think he's probably just as smart as, we'll say probably not as smart as, a Jigsaw, but overall, I mean, gotta love the strategy behind it.
I'm going to go with a classic that was dear to me. There's a lot left on the board, but I'm going to go one that terrified me as a kid and holds a special place in my heart. And you could probably argue for some above him, but to me, just what he represents to me makes him more scary. And I'm going to go with the Candyman.
Oh, okay. Yeah. R.I.P. Didn't he just pass away this year?
He did. Yeah. Tony Todd. Yeah. Rest in peace. But Candyman, I enjoyed the remake. I enjoyed there's something about a guy with a hook and bees and just coming in and just fucking you up. And it used to terrify me. So to recap, Bert went with Michael Myers, Pennywise, Art the Clown, Dracula, Ghostface. I have Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Leatherface, Jigsaw, and Candyman. And listen, this is not a slight. We only had 5 roster spots. If I had to pick a 6th man, I mean, you could give it to Pinhead from Hellraiser. You can give it to Hannibal Lecter.
I had Hannibal as a potential too on my list as well. Yeah.
It was for me. It was Hannibal or Jigsaw, and I went with Jigsaw because I just felt like he did more. Like
I agree.
I feel like he just did more. No slight to Hannibal Lecter. Silence of the Lambs, one of my favorite. I enjoyed the Hannibal TV show with Mads Mikkelsen. Could have went. I mean, there's a bunch. Chucky. A lot of people are going to be upset that we left Chucky off the big board, but he just, is a tiny guy, can't really do much. One dimensional. It's like just kick him off. He's just a kid. Like, what are you going to do? I didn't want to go too crazy. I almost picked Alien. Alien used to scare the shit out of me.
So I thought about Alien and Predator too, throwing that in there as
Predator,
well. But I was like, Predator. I mean, at that point, when we get into more spacey stuff, I'm like, I think that kind of falls outside. But
yeah, and that's kind of why I didn't like Pinhead. Interdimensional, like it's kind of flirting with,
yeah,
kind of that. And again, that's all aesthetics. People were scared because of the way he looked like. I don't think he really did much, not as much as some of these other guys we're talking about. So yeah, bud. Do you have a game ball you would like to give out?
we talked about him, Shohei Ohtani. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm not saying he's a bad player.
Mhm.
I think he's one of the best, and what he's been doing this entire postseason, but importantly, the last 3 games too, has been unreal. And you're seeing, for me, and look, I love Aaron Judge, but there's always that Aaron Judge doesn't perform in the postseason. He turned it on this year, short-lived, unfortunately, with the elimination. Even last year, he came up clutch too, but. Look, watching a guy that is literally an, NL MVP will be 100%, but, dominating when he's at bat to the point where he's getting walked intentionally 4 times because they want to throw to him. Like, nah, he's got to get my game ball. And I don't know. I even checked the score right now. I don't even know what it's at, but let me see. No, Jays are up 2-1, top of the 6th. So yeah, man, this is incredible.
Yeah. Mine is going to Carly Ursay Gordon, the new owner of the Indianapolis Colts.
Mm-hmm.
When she showed up on the sidelines at the beginning of the season with her little notepad and all her Colts gear, everybody laughed at her. And you know what? All she's done is just kick ass. And she's happy. She's with the players. She's high-fiving. Also, all too often we see owners basically show how much they don't know about the sport and act like they know, Jerry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But she's taken the necessary steps to lean into ownership, level up, and be involved. And she's not involved in the part of being overbearing. She's actually contributing to a winning culture. And if you're a sports fan, you would want that type of ownership for your franchise. And she's invested. She's not just there to collect checks. She's not there to just be rich. She wants the team to do well. And she's doing press conferences because she wants to, not because, and she's not doing radio bits. She's not having her own radio show. She's trying to help the team win. And I think she should get commended for that, because at the beginning of the year, she was the butt of a lot of jokes. And, the Colts are 7-1 since she stepped on the sidelines with her notepad. Shout out to her. Game ball goes to her and the continued great work. Honestly, I wish some more owners were like her. Like it's pretty dope to see. So my game ball is going to Carly Ursay Gordon. Shout out to you.
Mm-hmm.
Bert, this was fun. This was awesome.
Yeah.
Please, everybody, follow us at Stuff About Sports. You guys are killing it. We are closing in on 10,000 followers on the Stuff About Sports Instagram. www.giveusashot.network, at Give Us a Shot Network on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. Me and Bert, everybody have a good Halloween. Please be safe. Don't do anything fucking, if you're younger, don't do anything fucking stupid like me and Bert used to do back in the day. Just go out there and get your candy and go home, man. Don't be out there trying to do anything crazy. Enjoy the holiday. Me and Bert will get up with you guys next week. As soon as I can find a thing and I'm done bloviating and talking. Oh, there it is. All right. Yeah. Peace.